Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to a special online edition of our Jungle Bells pitching event sponsored by Euronext Brussels, ABN AMRO, PWC Legal, ONEtoONE Corporate Finance, SFPI, Co.Station, and Legal. I am Gilles van der Merchen, co-founder of Spreds and in charge of all business developments of the platform. Sorry to say that once again, due to the COVID restrictions, we are yet unable to organize a physical event. But it is our duty to support entrepreneurship, and so we've made an extra effort to select the best possible investment opportunities for you. During this digital edition, you will get to hear the pitches of three very promising startups in the green tech and agri-tech industry. There's Ferme Urbaine Lyonnaise, Seawind, and Solarly. Despite this health crisis, many entrepreneurs have had the courage to power through these difficult times and further develop their projects, convinced about the solutions they are providing our society with. Often I've noticed that it is in trying times that rare gems often surface within the entrepreneurial ecosystem. It is just great to see such resilience, determination, and passion. Fortunately, this is not the case for everyone, and we must not forget to support each other. The corporate culture is an essential element often forgotten by young and old-growing companies. As with accounting, human resources management, database management, and so many other aspects, it is essential for leaders to be able to equip themselves with very efficient tools in terms of governance, to be able to focus on the management and development of his or her company. As many of you know, Spreds' main ambition is to bolster Europe jobs creation. Job creation is mainly fueled by innovative and or sustainable entrepreneurial projects. To emerge and develop, those entrepreneurial projects need financial investment and proper governance. These often require the execution of a precise, complex, and expensive transaction and management operations. To simplify and reduce the time and expenses spent on such transactions and management of operations, we've created Spreds. Spreds has recently set up a professional online management platform called Spreds.pro that digitalizes all financial and legal aspects related to the management of fundraising and governance. To answer the main needs of entrepreneurs, 5 different modules will be offered within the platform. As of today, the first 3 have been launched and are accessible actually via our website, which is www.spreds.pro. The first model is called e-governance and is dedicated to the organization of digital boards and general meetings. The second is e-fundraising and helps entrepreneurs focus on the growth of their company by simplifying the complex management of investments and investors until the exit. The third, e-pooling, allows companies to pool their investors easily per round and all share classes in dedicated compartments so that they can focus on their business yet again. For more information on these modules, visit the website Spreds.pro, you got it, and download the brochures. Or don't hesitate to get back to us should you be interested or have specific questions. Now, enough about us. Let's discover the 3 pitches. I wish you a great Jungle Bell session. Stay safe and see you soon for our next session, which is taking place October the 27th.
Bonjour, je suis Christophe Lachambre, je vous parle ici de Lyon, où est le siège de FUL. FUL, c'est une société qui, avec les cofondateurs, s'est intéressée à répondre à un double défi qui est mondial, la croissance démographique dans les villes et aussi, je dirais, l'appétence des consommateurs pour avoir des produits plus sains et, si possible, en circuit court. Donc, cette société conçoit et développe tous des systèmes de production végétale pour des plantes comestibles, mais également non comestibles et sans pesticides. Essentiellement, l'activité de FUL est d'être équipementier et d'avoir un bureau d'études intégré. Ce que nous faisons dans ces cellules qu'on appelle des plant factories, en fait, nous sommes dans des cellules fermées pour éviter la présence d'éléments pathogènes. Ce sont les cultures hors sol, donc les pathogènes du sol ou aérien ne sont pas présents et nous n'avons pas de présence d'utilisation même de pesticides. La difficulté, c'est qu'on empile des cultures dans des colonnes, donc dans des bacs. Ces bacs sont très spéciaux, ce sont des bacs qui sont brevetés, qui permettent de gérer l'arrosage en cascade, donc sur toute cette colonne. Alors, dans tous les paramètres de culture, il y a un paramètre essentiel qui est aussi le climat. Le climat, ça recouvre la température, l'hygrométrie, la ventilation, qui est évidemment importante pour les plantes, et ces plantes évapotranspirent. On va dire que 90% de l'eau absorbée par les plantes est évapotranspirée, et grâce à notre système, je dirais, opportuniste, on condense cette eau et on la réinjecte dans le système, donc c'est très peu consommateur d'eau. Les plantes sont absolument superbes, donc on n'a aucun déchet présent quand on mène ce type de culture dans cette atmosphère. Et puis on utilise aussi des substrats donc, dans lesquels la semence est plantée, qui sont faits à partir de matériaux naturels et recyclés, comme par exemple la fibre de coco, la fibre de jute. Ensuite, donc, on a tout un système de supervision de cette culture. Vous avez compris qu'on est dans l'agriculture de précision, l'agriculture high-tech. Et ce système de supervision collecte des données donc sur la machine, mais également sur la croissance des plantes. Et il rassemble ces données qui sont brassées pour, grâce à un algorithme, délivrer une recette de culture qui est absolument orientée sur les besoins de l'exploitant. La chaîne de valeur dans laquelle s'inscrit FUL, donc c'est la réalisation de ces tests, je dirais, premiers qui sont la culture de la plante dédiée, qui conduit après à imaginer le site et les volumes éventuellement qui seront produits dans ce type d'unité. Les bénéfices dans la proposition de valeur, c'est évidemment, je dirais, la production en continu, donc 365 jours par an, ce qui fait qu'on a, dans cette meilleure saison, reconstitué beaucoup plus de cycles de production, beaucoup plus de plantes, beaucoup plus de volume. Et aussi, on a, par exemple, pour l'activité semencière, la possibilité de produire un nombre de semences d'intérêt beaucoup plus important à mettre sur le marché. On a également, pour l'industrie de la pharma, un taux de molécules d'intérêt qui est bien plus supérieur dans la plante que s'il était en pleine nature. N'oubliez pas que ce type de production avec cet empilement, etc., permet par mètre carré de produire 225 fois plus qu'en pleine nature, 75 fois plus qu'en serre. Et donc, on utilise évidemment de l'énergie, mais de façon très modérée, en tout cas ajustée au volume qui sont produits dans ce type d'unité. Nous, parallèlement, donc je dirais, à la livraison de ce site, on a aussi plein de services qui sont offerts en continu à l'exploitant. Ces services sont de l'ordre de la formation, parce qu'évidemment c'est une certaine technique qu'il faut rendre cette exploitation user-friendly, je dirais. Ensuite, on a évidemment, en plus de ces services, la fourniture des consommables, qui sont ces bacs, par exemple, ou les substrats qui accompagnent cette culture. Donc tout ça fait partie de façon globale à toute la chaîne de valeur qu'offre FUL et cette agilité pour différents secteurs d'activité. Alors, en matière de concurrence, il faut savoir que nous sommes comparés aux acteurs majeurs sur cette industrie qui est en plein essor, hein, qui est vraiment très importante aujourd'hui, que ce soit de ce côté-ci de l'Atlantique ou de l'autre. Donc, nous avons pris les acteurs majeurs et nous sommes comparés, on va dire, sur 5 familles, 5 critères spécifiques qui sont la performance agronomique, sur le service technique, la performance technique, sur les automatismes, sur l'intégration de tous les services et sur le bénéfice final consommateur. Il en ressort que nous sommes sur les plutôt médiums supérieurs, mais sur l'ensemble de ces critères, ce qui est une performance en soi. Donc nous ne contentons pas d'être un pourvoyeur de solutions techniques, nous développons nous-mêmes notre ingénierie sur ces éléments sensibles que sont la lumière, les techniques agronomiques, les systèmes de supervision, qu'ils soient prescriptifs ou prédictifs. Nous sommes vraiment dans l'industrie 4.0 et c'est ça qui fait notre spécificité. Donc en matière de segment de marché, justement FUL, avec la solution agile que nous offrons, nous pouvons être présents sur plusieurs segments de marché à haute valeur ajoutée. Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire? C'est que nous pouvons être évidemment sur le segment de l'alimentaire, hein, ce qu'on appelle le food, où ça recouvre la distribution alimentaire, mais également tout ce qui est, je dirais, processing, hein, donc ce qui emballe les aliments. On est présent sur le segment des semenciers. Il faut savoir que c'est un segment qui recouvre donc les majors, je dirais les grandes entreprises semencières qui ont un chiffre d'affaires de l'ordre, je dirais, de 35 milliards de dollars et qui consacrent 10% à leur recherche. Ils sont donc un segment où ce qu'on appelle le rapid cycling, donc l'enchaînement de cycles de production très rapide qui fait accélérer leur programme de recherche est très important. Il y a aussi le segment de la pharma, de la cosméto et du bien-être où la tendance de marché est de rechercher des ingrédients naturels, voire bio. Et puis finalement le dernier segment, qui n'est pas le moins non plus, c'est tous les industriels qui recherchent des substituts végétaux à des ingrédients dont ils ont besoin et qui sont sous tension. Donc ils peuvent aussi extraire une matière première visée, mais ils découvrent également qu'il y a des dérivés qui peuvent également être réinjectés sur d'autres segments de marché. En matière de perspective de marché, nous estimons que le marché à moyen terme peut représenter pour FUL environ 158 unités, qui seraient réparties sur les trois marchés. Donc on va dire l'alimentaire. L'alimentaire, le besoin mondial est de 1 million de tonnes d'herbes aromatiques fraîches. Et donc le marché immédiat serait de 100 000 tonnes de ces herbes aromatiques fraîches, l'équivalent de 8300 Plain Factory. Donc pour nous, ce que l'on peut saisir à moyen terme serait 48 unités. Quant au marché des semenciers, donc j'ai parlé des plateformes de semences utilisées en R&D. En France, il y en a une centaine et on pense que le marché peut représenter pour nous 30 unités. Et en matière de pharma, cosmétiques et aromatiques, le marché des plantes donc médicinales et aromatiques, lui, serait estimé à une production de 80 unités, donc à moyen terme. Dans l'immédiat, sur les 5 prochaines années, FUL pense délivrer 63 unités. En termes d'activité de partenariat, notre écosystème compte des sociétés de renommée, telles que le groupe Atos, qui est pu à présenter, 11 000 personnes à travers le monde. Aussi l'école d'ingénierie INSA de Lyon, qui compte un laboratoire informatique de renommée, qui nous a aidé à développer les algorithmes. La société Clogère, spécialiste du froid industriel, et la société LIT, qui a une solution innovante d'encapsulage des LED. Dans cet écosystème, il y a évidemment les pôles de compétitivité qui nous ont délivré les labels pour sponsoriser nos dossiers de financement. Il y a le pôle minalogique, donc tout ce qui est nanotechnologie, le pôle VG Police et le pôle Terralia. Et puis au niveau national, évidemment, nous avons le label investissement d'avenir pour la France. Alors, à quoi vont servir ces fonds? Évidemment, ces fonds vont servir à développer l'équipe. Nous avons accompli une longue route en développement de la R&D, donc cette solution est maintenant stabilisée, et la phase commerciale dans laquelle nous rentrons. Nous recherchons des talents en développement commercial, surtout à l'export, surtout sur le segment food, mais aussi des chefs de chantier pour les 63 unités que nous allons livrer d'ici 2025. Ensuite, par essence, puisque c'est notre modèle, nous sommes positionnés sur l'agriculture technologique, nous allons continuer à développer tout ce qui est robotique, big data, cloud management, pour toujours avoir une longueur d'avance. Je vous remercie pour l'attention et je me réjouis de vous rencontrer bientôt.
Hello Christophe, comment ça va?
Ouais, bonjour Erwan, très bien.
Alors,
Merci. Qu'est-ce qui t'amène?
Alors, je t'appelais parce que on a recueilli quelques questions de la part de nos investisseurs.
Très bien.
Je voulais d'abord te remercier de leur part et de ma part pour le
C'est moi
temps
qui les
que
remercie.
tu consacres à ces vidéos. Donc, sans transition, je vais te poser immédiatement le top 5 des questions qu'on a sélectionnées, en commençant par quelles sont les performances agronomiques des fermes full par rapport à la production sous serre ou en plein air.
D'accord. Donc, en fait, on a des rendements qui sont absolument exceptionnels dus au phénomène, la technique de l'empilement. Donc, on dit habituellement au mètre carré, on est 225 fois plus productif qu'en plein air et 75 fois plus que dans une serre, puisque évidemment les productions sont tout seuls. Donc, le fait d'empiler jusqu'à 15 plateaux dans des colonnes, donc ces plateaux qui font un demi-mètre carré et on en empile une quinzaine, le fait qu'on ait un climat idéal donc toute l'année qui convient à cette culture, on a ces rendements qui sont absolument exceptionnels.
Très bien. Une prochaine question était ferme urbaine lyonnaise est-elle une solution clé en main pour leurs clients?
Ah oui, c'est justement ce qu'on revendique. L'originalité de notre proposition, c'est que de concevoir et le site, donc la Plaine Factory, la concevoir et l'implanter et la livrer avec tous les services, donc clé en main pour que l'opérateur puisse exercer dans le confort toute sa production. Donc voilà, c'est dans ce modèle, c'est évidemment les équipements, on va dire, agronomiques, enfin de culture, le climat, les systèmes de supervision, les systèmes d'arrosage, et bref, tous les interfaces homme-machine, hein, ce qu'on appelle les IHM, pour piloter au plus juste cette production. Et tout est livré clé en main, y compris, et last but not least, toute la formation donc à tous ces outils pour que ce soit vraiment une solution user-friendly, donc très commode d'utilisation pour l'opérateur.
Qui permettra d'identifier les problèmes s'il y en a et de les actionner au plus vite.
Voilà, donc la maintenance est très importante, hein, donc c'est un service qu'on offre en continu. Et cette maintenance peut être évidemment prédictive comme prescriptive. Voilà, tout est fait pour le confort de l'opérateur.
Très bien. On passe à la prochaine question. Est-ce qu'il y a un segment qui vous paraît particulièrement en demande de fermes verticales telles que les fermes urbaines lyonnaises?
Oui, bah, le plus gros segment auquel on pense, évidemment, c'est tout ce qu'on concerne l'agroalimentaire, hein, que ce soit pour la production, mais la transformation. Donc, typiquement pour tout ce qui est retail, puis la transformation pour les sociétés qui mettent, par exemple, en sachet, qui coupent les productions et les mettent en sachet. Ensuite, un autre segment important, et c'est toutes les plateformes de R&D pour les semenciers. Donc, eux ont un gros avantage avec ce type de production, c'est que c'est un véritable accélérateur de cycle, ce qu'ils appellent le rapid cycling. Ensuite, on a aussi tout le domaine de la pharma tant santé humaine qu'animale, donc avec tous des extraits d'ingrédients végétaux qui adressent un marché qui est de plus en plus bio, qui ont besoin donc de présence de molécules homogènes et stabilisées dans les productions. Donc la pharma, la cosméto, qui est un peu la cosmétique, qui est un peu un secteur parallèle. Et puis finalement, on a aussi des phénomènes de niche qui sont des industriels qui sont sur des extractions de plantes pour faire des substituts à leur sourcing lointain, voilà, et qui recherchent soit des substituts, mais également aussi des dérivés qui peuvent être utilisés pour servir d'autres segments de marché.
Ok, tout à fait, c'est très clair. Donc, tout de même, quand même une proéminence du secteur agroalimentaire.
Oui.
On passe à la question suivante. Combien d'employés full-time travaillent sur ferme urbaine lyonnaise en ce moment?
Alors actuellement, on est 13 salariés. Une grosse partie de l'effectif, c'est donc tous les métiers de l'ingénierie pour concevoir ces sites et pour concevoir tous les systèmes, toutes les briques technologiques qui vont être ces sites. Et puis après, on a évidemment une force de vente aujourd'hui avec du marketing. Et puis après, il y a tout l'encadrement, on va dire, administratif. Voilà, c'est 13 personnes, des opérateurs également qui fabriquent à la demande des outils spécifiques pour nos commandes.
Très clair. Et on va finir avec une dernière question de nos internautes qui te demandaient comment seront utilisés les fonds levés par Ferme Urbaine Lyonnaise à l'issue de ce tour de table.
Alors, principalement, c'est le renforcement de l'équipe, hein, puisqu'on a des ambitions quand même assez importantes de progression de sites installés. Donc, il faut que, évidemment, nos équipes soient en adéquation avec cette montée en puissance. Donc, en ressources, évidemment, d'ingénierie, mais ingénierie plus spécifiquement dédiée à tout ce qui est automatisme, aussi tout ce qui est big data, cloud management, puisque voilà, grâce à nos systèmes de supervision, on peut remonter des données et fabriquer, je dirais, des recettes grâce à des algorithmes qui conviennent typiquement aux productions de nos clients. Donc, on peut faire du spécifique grâce à tous ces outils. Donc voilà, développement commercial, renforcement de l'équipe ingénierie, des data analystes, et donc voilà, tout ce qui tourne autour de la gestion IT de ces données.
Voilà, un projet très demandeur en capital humain, en perspective. Voilà, on est arrivé au bout des questions de nos internautes. Donc, je tenais à te remercier personnellement pour le temps que tu as mis dans cette petite session de questions-réponses. Et je te remercie aussi
ravi.
de la part des investisseurs Spreds
Oui.
qui sont ravis de te rencontrer de cette façon-là.
Très bien, je les attends.
Merci beaucoup et je te souhaite tout le meilleur pour le projet Ferme Urbaine Lyonnaise.
Very good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Vincent de Wulf. I'm the CEO of Seawind. I have the pleasure to present you Seawind, and we are active in the offshore wind industry. The slide 2 talks about the problem, which is the planet is going to miss the net zero carbon target unless some people are willing to make a difference. At Seawind, we want to accelerate the energy transition by unlocking wind energy where it is most abundant, and that is in deep water, deep sea, more than 50-meter water depth, which represent 80% of the offshore market and will also go in cyclonic areas. The product is in front of you. It is a floating wind turbine made of a concrete foundation, a 14,000 ton weight, 85-meter diameter. The nacelle is hanging at 135 meter above sea level and the rotor diameter is 225 meter. Slide 3 is about the features, the center of the technology. What makes the difference? Basically, we have 3 features. The first one is the tethering hinge. The tethering hinge is a flexible joint between the rotor, so the blades here, and the shaft in blue, giving a lot of flexibility in the system and lower fatigue. The yaw control, also unique to our technology. Both the 3-blade technology and us, we need to work with the wind speed. So our competitors, they have a pitching mechanism, which is a sensible piece of equipment, which we don't have. Our blades are just fixed to the hub being the central piece of the rotor. But what we need to do to work with and against the wind, if this wheel is an illustration of the rotor, when the wind is blowing nicely, all good. But then when the wind goes up in speed, then we need to yaw out of the wind and back again when the wind goes down. The same as a sailor does with his sails. The third difference is a higher rotational speed of our equipment, and that leads to lower torque and less equipment. So simply said, our technology is simpler, more flexible, and has lower fatigue values. So converting this into a customer value proposition, this is a lower cost solution, lower capex, lower opex, lower energy cost, and also lower embedded carbon footprint. To illustrate those two first proposition is that we compare ourselves with the GE 12 megawatt turbine. Their head weight, so the nacelle and the rotor together, weighs 850 tons. Our head weight will be 650. That's 25% difference. That's a huge difference in our heavy industry. Now the other advantage, we go floating. We are suited for floating thanks to our flexible system. Good for cyclonic area. We have a high level of local content. And last but not least, our low-cost solution will help unlock the green hydrogen value chain that everybody is waiting for. Slide 4, talking about the market. I'm going to look on the right-hand side first. IEA, International Energy Agency, has estimated there is 18 times more energy offshore available compared to what is being produced today on the planet. So there is a huge amount of wind energy out there. Now talking about market dimensions, today 27 gigawatt are installed and by 2050, the industry wants to go for 1,500. That would mean an investment per year of more than 150 billion for the planet. Now, who are our competitors? Number 1, Siemens Gamesa. Number 2, MHI Vestas. Number 3, GE. Now, what do we show on this graph? The vertical axis is affordability. The higher you are on the chart, the more affordable is your technology. And the horizontal is about deployability. The more on the right, the more you can resist against cyclones. So the best location on this graph is the top right corner. Bingo, that's where Seawind is. Now, this is a short summary of where we are in the value chain. So Seawind will take a lot of equipment from suppliers, will make the turbine, we will sell the turbine to wind farms, and wind farms will sell the energy to energy off-takers. Now, how is Seawind going to be capable to build this piece of kit without having any single manufacturing capacity? We will inspire ourselves from the Airbus assembly model, whereby Airbus doesn't build plane, they assemble planes. So we'll keep the leadership role at the top of the triangle for Seawind as an original equipment manufacturer. At the bottom, we'll have our long list of suppliers, and some are partners who have helped us co-design our technology. And in the middle, we will have a very important role for a blue chip consultant in the energy sector called Wood. They have 55,000 engineers, and they will be in charge for the execution of the project. Be in charge, making sure that the project is delivered on time, on budget, and on quality. Now, the last slide is about monies. So the business plan shows that we start making some small revenues in 2025, and sooner or later we land very easily in a multi-billion business. Now, what's going to happen between now and 24? We call that the technology demonstration phase, where we need to demonstrate the project or the technology at a bigger scale. So we have proven the technology at 1.5 megawatt. Now we need to prove it at 6 and then at 12 megawatt. So the 6 will cost 35 million and the 12 will cost 51 million. So next week we will start with ONEtoONE raising those important funds. But between now and the availability of those funds, we want to bridge the gap by offering you a convertible bond for minimum tickets of 100,000 euro, 35% discount. We plan to raise 1 million. What are we going to do with those funds? I will only illustrate the first one, which is also a positive message. EIB, European Investment Bank, are willing to fund with a soft loan half the value of the first prototype, so half of 35 million. But they first want to see 2 independent studies studying the behavior of our floating turbine at sea during operation and during transportation. That's it from me now. Thank you very much for your attention, and it's now up to you to make a difference.
Hello, Vincent.
Hi, everyone.
I'm calling you to ask you a few questions following the video that you've just done.
Okay.
So I wanted to thank you on behalf of all the investors that are watching this video and from myself. So with that transition, I'm going to jump straight into the questions. One of the questions we have gathered is the following. How is the Seawind technology protected? Is there any kind of patent?
Yeah, more than any kind, real patents. So basically, we have two big parts in our floating turbine. So the turbine itself, the head, let's say, and then at the bottom, the foundation. The majority of the patents are in the turbine. So in total, we have 28 patents and 11 pending, and that covers all the major markets globally.
Okay, noted. The following question would be, what is your background and the Seawind's background with regards to wind energy production?
Okay, let me use this question to try to position ourselves in the business. So in this offshore wind business, you have a few business, let's say three. One is the construction of turbine, where Seawind belong. Two, there is the operational maintenance of those turbines, where Seawind belong, because we'll operate, not alone, we'll have a partner joining us. And number three, the owning the wind farms. That's not the business we are in right now. So our client are wind farms, so we will not operate. But if I own the turbine, we will do operation and maintenance contract with the owner, but we are not the owner of the wind farm. And
Right.
maybe I can just say, but internally, we have series of people who have experience in developing wind farms, operating wind farms, so we have those competence on board, but we are not in that business.
Okay, sounds good. Moving on to the next questions. How many full-time employees are working with you on Seawind?
It's a tricky question, not that I want to hide anything, but we have a lot of people. Let's say we are roughly getting now close to 40 people in total, but bear with me, the majority are not working full-time. So if I make the maths depending on the activities, because there are a period with more work and less work, etc. But let's say full-time is going to be close to 20 people.
Correct. Okay. I gathered another question that was regarding maintenance of the turbines. So how do you intend to take care of the maintenance of the Seawind wind turbines?
Okay, so as I said in the previous question, so for the maintenance or operation and maintenance, because we do the two together, we are going to partner with a blue chip energy consultant called Wood. They are made of 55,000 engineers, so they know this kind of work to be done. They have all the people, the staff, also the IT to do that. So we'll partner with them to make this service happen properly, so operation and maintenance. In the same way as we partner for the construction and execution of the project, so building the turbines, we will partner also for the operation and maintenance with a top-notch energy firm.
Right. So on the platform offshore, you have a lot of sensors that are here to make sure that no problems is happening. And as soon as something is wrong, you can see it straight away, correct?
Yes. So our turbine are monitored live, so remotely from any place on the planet. And we have more than 600 sensors in the turbine, so we know exactly what's going on board.
Right. Okay, so last question we had. Where are you right now in terms of contracts?
In terms of contracts, the majority of our business today is related to the production, the construction of our prototype, which is a 35 million investment. So the major contracts, I see two families. One is the long list of suppliers that are going to provide all the equipment, because as you recall, we are using this Airbus assembly model, so we have a long list of suppliers. Right. There we have for at least 80% already offers from those suppliers. Of course, we today we have zero revenue. We are really building something. And the second category in numbers much smaller, is Wood, again, the same energy consultant as I said earlier, who are going to have this role of making sure that quality assurance, quality control, so the project execution is done properly. We are now in the middle of our MOU negotiations with them, but they are very willing to be part of this journey. So we hope to finalize the contract with Wood, who will be let's say, dealing with all the suppliers in practice during the execution. Probably in 2 months' time, we should have a final contract with Wood.
Very well. Sounds really promising. Listen, Vincent, this is the end of our Q&A session for Seawind. So I would like to thank you again on behalf of the Spreds investors and myself. And I wish you a great day and a bright future for Seawind.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you all.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Good evening. I'm Thomas Paaf, CEO at Solarly, and today I'm going to present to you what we do here. So we are a Belgian Cameroonian team. We have 4 members in Belgium, and we have about 7 people in Cameroon, and this is expected to grow with 12 people by the end of 2021. So we deal in electricity, solar energy to be precise. In sub-Saharan Africa, the situation is pretty bad right now. So worldwide, we have 940 million people who don't have access to electricity, and about 600 million of those are in Africa. So here we have daily power cuts, and they can last sometimes even to 2 weeks. That's the longest one we've experienced. And the alternatives are mainly generators. These are old solutions, and they cost a lot of money, actually, apart from the acquisition fee. So it's a recurrent cost of kerosene, and this is really hurting people. So having electricity is very important for development. It helps with economical growth, it helps with social issues like health, but also security, and everything that has to do with sanitary solutions. So it is in high demand, obviously. What and why are we actually doing what we do? What is Solarly about? Well, we want to help people in sub-Saharan Africa develop and elevate their standard of living. And we can do this by providing them with electricity. How do we do this? By giving them a reliable source of power. Reliable is really important because this is what they really lack, is the reliability of the solution. So how do we go about this? Well, we've designed a solar home system. We produce it in Belgium, and we have a few key differentiators, and these are that first, it's a qualitative solution. It is upgradable. We have 2 options, 150 watts and 300, and people can upgrade really easily from one to the other. It is totally autonomous. Once they have it, they just need daylight, not even sunshine, but daylight, and it works. It will provide them with energy. It is made affordable. This is important here. People can pay with a deposit and then pay with monthly installments, and it is connected. The connectivity is to follow the production. We contact our clients to tell them they need to clean the panels, or we send a technician to see if something's up. And it allows us to close the power output when they don't pay their monthly installments. So our solution, in a little bit more detail, we have the Solarly box that you can see on the right side of the screen. We have a monitoring platform that allows us to do the monitoring and the cutting off the power when we don't get the monthly payments. And we also sell accessories, because this is what people want here. They want a total picture. They want to have the fridge with it, the television. So we also provide those. So you can see there are 4 outputs for the USB, 2 for televisions, 52 watt accessories, and then we have a bigger one for 100 watt accessories, like for example a fridge. People can monitor their own station with the battery charge indicator, so they know that they have to take out a few phones if they are in the beginning of the night and they don't have enough charge. And the pay-as-you-go status is actually going to be green when they have paid. 5 days before they need to pay, it's going to turn orange, and it'll be red when we have cut off the outputs. So that's about it for the solution. The market, we already discussed it a little bit, the global market and the African market. The Cameroonian market is the main aim for us in the middle and short term. We have 25 million inhabitants here, and 41%, so almost half, do not have access to electricity, which is huge. So we know that investors usually don't like to see B2C, B2G, and B2B, but this is just a reality. These are the people that we are talking to and selling our solution to at this moment. The B2C part is mainly managed by the Cameroonian team with our support, and we have always a Belgian person here. The B2G is mainly the Belgian team. We have won a Finexpo contract for 617,000 euros to electrify health centers here in Cameroon. And the B2B is distributed between the Belgian team and the Cameroonian team, because we also are trying to open up the Central Republic of Congo, and this is where we do most of the interaction. So who's here with us? Well, no one. There is no one servicing the 150 watts to 300 watts segment. Only Solarly is doing this. So that's good news. Our main competitor, but they only sell Pico solar systems, which go up to 50 watts, is UPOA. Good news, actually, because they have 200 people here in Cameroon, and they offered to work together on a bid for US aid that we have submitted together, and we are looking into distributing together. So that's actually an opportunity more than a threat. The biggest competitors would still be the generators, and as we said, they have many negative points to them. So we actually are in the process of closing a 225,000 round. We are really happy that it went well, and our valuation for this round was 1.7 million, and we are supposed to go to the notary in 2 weeks to close it off, so we are still open to some additional funding. The valuation is really interesting compared with the contract that we have signed for 617,000 euros. So I hope this is enough information. Feel free to reach out, and we will probably have a next round in Q4 of 2021 or Q1 of 2022. So that's it for me. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Hello, Thomas.
Hello, how are you doing?
Yeah, very good. And you?
Good. There is a house next door, so there might be some noise from the kids. I hope it doesn't bother you.
Okay, so where are you right now?
Yaoundé. We are in the neighborhood of the embassies, so we are right behind the Nigerian ambassador's residence.
Okay. So I guess it might be pretty hot right now.
Yeah, it is pretty hot.
Anyway, I was calling you to thank you for the video capsules you have made for our investors, and
My pleasure.
gathered some questions from those investors, and I was just calling you for you to answer them live. So if you're
happy that there are some questions.
Yes. Without transitions, let's go through the questions. So first question, what makes the Solarly box more reliable than other alternatives? You have mentioned the generators in your video, so...
Yeah, maybe we went a bit fast over it in the presentation, but basically there is this table where we compare the different solutions, and if we compare the generators, what we didn't say is we also are in Cameroon because here the solar industry is actually pretty alive, and people know what solar energy is. They know about panels, they know about batteries. So, you know, you don't have to do this whole explanation part. What's the problem with the generators, and that's also why people are already busy with solar energy, is that they are quite expensive to buy, but you have a recurring cost, and the recurring cost will never stop because it's the kerosene that you need to put in there. So that's one. They make a lot of noise and they smell. So usually who has these? Well, little shops and bigger houses. which is just like if you're living in a house and you have this huge noise, it's annoying. Secondly, if you have a restaurant or something else, it does make, the noise, but also just the smell. You smell gasoline everywhere. So these are big impediments. You can't buy them as a pay-as-you-go scheme like we do, so monthly payments, that's not possible. You can forget about aftercare and warranty. That's just not happening here in Cameroon or Sub-Saharan Africa mostly. We do have that. Let's say accessories, yeah, these are maybe, that's not a big problem. You can pretty much use the electricity for whatever you want. They are not connected, so it's less of a problem, and they're not upgradable. So you buy one type and that will provide you with a certain amount of power. And with us, you can upgrade.
Okay,
that's enough.
That answers the question.
Okay.
Let's go to the next question. You talked about the payments. How do you ensure that payments are made in time?
So the payments, I mentioned our station is connected. So this is for the aftercare. We help people, we send them a text or call them when we see there is less production than there should be. But it's also, it also enables us to block the exit or the output from the station. So if we see that someone is not paying, they have 5 days that the light will turn orange, meaning they need to pay. When it turns red, the LED is red, it means that the power output is cut. And then they quickly understand that it's because they didn't pay. Because usually when this happens, they call us and they're like, oh, the machine is not working. And then we tell them, yes, because you didn't pay in time, and then usually they pay.
Okay, so they have an incentive to pay.
Yeah, because they already, when they have these monthly payment schemes, they already put down a deposit, and the deposit is 40% of the station's worth. So it gives us kind of a feel of the credibility of the client, if he's gonna pay or not. And then, yeah, if he doesn't pay, he has a useless machine for which he already paid half of it, almost.
That makes sense.
Yes.
So moving on to the next question, are you planning on expanding the local team in Africa?
Yeah, so right now we are, let's say, 4 people, Cameroonians, who have more like managerial positions and who manage quite a lot of tasks. And by the end of, and there is 3 others that are sales and technicians on the ground, and that only do that. And then for the end of 2021, we want to grow with at least 12 people.
Okay, right.
Mm-hmm.
Next question we had was about whether or not you would have a local affiliate program or an ambassador program to expand the sales of the Solarly bug.
Yeah. So this question also touches a little bit on the recruitment process. So we want to have 12 more by 2021. This needs to be organic growth, right? So it needs to be because we have new clients in new regions. So right now we are opening up the east, and we are working on a couple of villages in the north, and we're gonna take new people when we have a presence. How do you get a presence? Well, yes, indeed, usually by having one client. And when the client is reliable, understands the source, we tell them that they can have a reduction on their monthly payment, or if they already paid cash, we send them money through mobile payment, about 20 to 25,000 FCFA per client, to which they, let's say, marketed and sold the solution.
Okay.
But we do all the follow-up. So they find someone, and this is already being done right now, right? So they find someone who's interested, who has the money, they call us, they say, well, this person wants one, and then we take over from there. And if that person buys one, then they get their affiliate fee.
Right, so there is an affiliate program indeed.
Yeah, I think it's the best way, because the people who have the solution, they know what it is worth, that it's reliable, and they are the best salespeople, basically.
Correct. Okay, moving on to the last question.
Okay.
you've been talking about possible Series A round in the end of 2021, 2022. So can you explain how investors would benefit from investing in Solarly now rather than in the Series A?
Yeah. So, well, first of all, as a valuation, we have 1.7. Obviously, we're not super happy about that valuation, but this is just how the Belgian startup market works. And the important part about this is it's quite a low valuation when you think about the fact that we have a 617,000 contract signed. It's going to be paid by the Belgian government by installments. That's one of the reasons the valuation got pushed lower, is because it's not now there. We need to install, then we get paid. Install, we get paid, you know? So it's actually a great opportunity as an investor to say, okay, I'm at a 1.7, but I know they will have cash flow depending on their performance, operational performance, linked to the way we install and the pace at which we install. So it's quite low, I would say, 1.7, knowing that we have sales apart from this contract. So that's one of the reasons. And then I would say Engie, Orange, a lot of major players are now investing in Africa. And they like products like ours for the simple reason that actually our stations are connected. This means they have a SIM card in them. So it makes sense for a telco operator to acquire a little company like Solarly, because we can bring them clients, we can bring them connectivity, and we can, that's a possibility. The station could be upgraded to emit like a Wi-Fi station. So, you know, it has this kind of synergy. There are synergies possible. Same for the energy sector. I'm saying like Engie because they bought in another country stakes in other similar companies. So there is definitely an exit possible. And when I say exit, this is not really what we want to be like, okay, and now we're out. No, we want to work together. So it would be more something to be absorbed in a bigger group, giving us more credits, more possibilities to develop and develop the operation. So it is an interesting sector. And as mentioned, electricity is just the start of everything else. So if once you have electricity, you can have a business, a restaurant, a hotel, you can study, there is more security, you can ensure people have healthcare, centers operational. All of these things start with electricity.
Okay. So I think this answers the question, and you have answered all questions brilliantly, I'd say. So I would like to thank you for your time, and on behalf of the investors as well, and enjoy your time in Africa for now.